How Wonderful is Death by Percy Bysshe Shelley. How wonderful is death, death and his brother sleep. One, pale as yonder waning moon, with lips of lurid blue, the other, rosy as the morn, when frowned on ocean's wave, it blushes o'er the world, yet both surpassing wonderful. Half in the gloomy power whose reign is in the tainted sepulchres seized on her sinless soul, must then that peerless form, which love and admiration cannot view without a beating heart, those azure veins which steal like streams along a field of snow, that lovely outline, which is fair as breathing marble, perish? Must putrefaction's breath leave nothing of his heavenly sight, but loathsomeness and ruin? Spare nothing but the gloomy theme on which the lightest heart might moralize? Or is it only a sweet slumber stealing our sensation, which the breath of roseate morning chaseth into darkness? Will Ianthe wake again, and give that faithful bosom joy, whose sleepless spirit waits to catch light, life, and rapture from her smile? Yes, she will awake again, although her glowing limbs are motionless, and silent those sweet lips once breathing eloquence that might have soothed a tiger's rage, or fawned the cowed heart of a conqueror. Her dewy eyes are closed, and on their lids, whose texture fine scarce hides the dark blue orbs beneath, the baby's sleep is pillowed. Her golden tresses shade the bosom's stainless pride, curling like tendrils of a parasite around her marble collar. Hark! Whence that rushing sound? 'Tis like the wondrous strain that round a lonely ruin swells, which, wandering on the echoing shore, the enthusiast hears at evening. 'Tis softer than the west wind's sigh, 'tis wilder than the unmeasured notes of that strange lyre whose strings the genii of a breeze sweep. Those lines of rainbow light are like the moonbeams when they fall through some cathedral window, but the taints are such as may not find comparison on earth. Behold the chariot of a fairy queen, celestial coursers pour the unyielding air. Their filmy pennants are her word they furl, and stop obedient to the rains of light. These the queen of spells drew in, she spread a charm around the spot, and leaning graceful from the ethereal car, long did she gaze, and silently, upon the slumbering maid. Oh, not the vision powered in his dreams, when silver clouds float through the wilder brain, when every sight of lovely, wild, and grand, astonishes and raptures elevates, when fancy at a glance combines the wondrous and the beautiful, so bright, so fair, so wild a shape I've ever yet beheld, as that which reigned the coursers of the air, and put the magic of her gaze upon the sleeping maid. The broad and yellow moon shone dimly through her form, but from a faultless symmetry. The pearly and pellucid car moved not the moonlight's line. It was not an earthly pageant. Those who had looked upon the sight, passing all human glory, saw not the yellow moon, saw not the mortal scene, heard not the night wind's rush, heard not an earthly sound, saw but the fairy pageant, heard but the heavenly strains that filled the lonely dwelling. The fairy's frame was as light, yon fibrous cloud that catches but the palest tinge of even, and which the straining eye can hardly seize when melting into eastern twilight's shadow, where scarce so thin, so slight, but the fair star that gems the glittering coronet of morn sheds not a light so mild, so powerful, as that which, bursting from the fairy's form, spread a purpureal halo round the scene, yet with an undulating motion swayed to her outline gracefully. From her celestial car the fair queen descended, and thrice she waved her wand, circled with wreaths of amaranth. Her thin and misty form moved with the moving air, and the clear silver tones, as thus she spoke, were such as are unheard by all but gifted ear. Fairy stars, your balmiest influence shed, elements, your shafts suspend, sleep, ocean, in the rocky bounds that circle thy domain. Let not a breath be seen to stir around yon grass-grown ruins hide. Let even the restless gossamer sleep on the moveless air. soul of Ianthe, thou judged alone worthy of the envied boon that waits the good and the sincere, that waits those who have struggled and with resolute will vanquished earth's pride and meanness, burst the icy chains of custom, and have shun the day stars of the age. Soul of Ianthe, awake, arise. Sudden arose Ianthe's soul. It stood all beautiful in naked purity, the perfect semblance of its bodily frame. Instinct with inexpressible beauty and grace, each stain of earthliness had passed away. It reassumed its native dignity and stood immortal amid ruin. Upon the couch the body lay, wrapped in the depth of slumber. Its features were fixed and meaningless, yet animal life was there, and every organ yet performed its natural functions. 'Twas a sight of wonder to behold the body and soul. The self-same lineaments, the same marks of identity were there. Yet, oh how different! One aspires to heaven, pants for its semi-eternal heritage, and ever-changing, ever-rising, still wantons in endless being. The other, for a time the unwilling sport of circumstance and passion, struggles on, fleets through its sad duration rapidly, then like a useless and worn-out machine, rots, perishes, and passes. Fairy spirit, who hast dived so deep, spirit, who hast soared so high, thou the fearless, thou the mild, accept the boon thy worth hath earned, as can the carve of me. Spirit, do I dream? Is this new feeling but a vision ghost of slumber? If indeed I am a soul, a free, a disembodied soul, speak again to me. Fairy, I am the fairy, and it be to me 'tis given the wonders of the human world to keep, the secrets of the immeasurable past, in the unfading consciousness of man. Those stern, unflattering chroniclers I find, the future from the cause which rises in each event I gather, not the sting which retributive memory implants in the hard bosom of a selfish man, nor that ecstatic and exulting throb which virtue's votary feels when he sums up the thoughts and actions of a well-spent day, are unforeseen, unregistered by me. And it is yet permitted me to rend the veil of mortal frailty, that the spirit, clothed in its changeless purity, may know how soonest to accomplish the great end for which it hath its being, and may taste that peace which in the end all life will share. This is the meat of virtue, happy soul, as can the car with me. The chains of earth's immurement fell from Ianthe's spirit. They shrank and brake like bandages of straw beneath a vacant giant's strength. She knew her glorious change, and felt in apprehension uncontrolled new raptures opening round. Each daydream of a mortal life, each frenzied vision of her slumbers that closed each well-spent day, seemed now to meet reality. The fairy and the soul proceeded, the silver clouds disparted, and as the car of magic they ascended, again the speechless music swelled, again the coursers of the air unfurled their azure pennants, and the queen, shaking the beamy reins, bade them pursue their way. The magic car moved on. The night was fair, and countless stars studded heaven's dark blue vault. Just o'er the eastern wave peeped the first faint smile of morn. The magic car moved on from the celestial hoofs. The atmosphere in flaming sparkles flew, and where the burning wheels eddied above the mountain's loftiest peak, was traced a line of lightning. Now it flew far above the rock, the utmost verge of earth, the rival of the ants, whose dark brow lowered over the silver sea. Far, far below the chariot's path, calm as a slumbering babe, tremendous ocean lay. The mirror of its stillness showed the pale and waning stars, the chariot's fiery track, and the grey light of morn tinging those fleecy clouds that canopied the dawn. Seemed it that the chariot's way lay through the midst of an immense concave, radiant with million constellations, tinged with shades of infinite colour, and semicircled with a belt flashing incessant meteors. The magic car moved on. As they approached the goal, the cursor seemed to gather speed. The sea no longer was distinguished. Earth appeared a vast and shadowy sphere. The sun's unclouded orb rolled through the black concave. Its rays of rapid light parted around the chariot's swifter course, and fell like ocean's fiery spray dashed from the boiling surge before a vessel's prow. The magic car moved on. Earth's distant orb appeared, the smallest light that twinkles in the heaven, whilst round the chariot's way innumerable systems rolled, and countless spheres diffused and every varying glory. It was a sight of wonder. Some were horned like a crescent moon, some shed a mild and silver beam like Hesperus o'er the western sea, some dashed at wharf with trains of flame like worlds to death and ruin driven, some shone like suns, and as the chariot passed, eclipsed all other light. Spirit of nature, here, in this interminable wilderness of worlds, at whose immensity even soaring fancy staggers, here is thy fitting temple. Yet not the lightest leaf that quivers to the passing breeze is less instinct with thee, yet not the meanest worm that lurks in graves and fattens on the dead, less shares thy eternal breath. Spirit of nature, thou, imperishable as the scene, here is thy fitting temple.